Right, so hello, Daniel. I'm here with Daniel Docherty from the, what is it called?
Sacred Art of Geometry Studios.
SAOG, ICHS. Sacred, right, okay. And so I'm Karen from the Freedom Network, and I'm on a course this weekend, which has been quite amazing. It's about the dance of Venus and learning how to put pen to paper with the compass. And I just wanted to have a chat with Daniel because of the work that he's doing and he describes the work that he's doing, the passion that he has, which for me is really important for what's happening in the world at the moment and in the past. But obviously it's a tool that we could all use to really improve our lives and improve where humanity is going, because you talk about the connectivity of everything, because sacred geometry is in everything, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's just start with what got you into it to begin with. You did say earlier today, but it was something about your dreams.
Yeah, well, someone asked me this question several years ago, and it occurred to me that, how did I get into geometry? It occurred to me geometry got into me. So, right through my childhood, right through my adolescent years, I used to dream geometry. I used to dream three-dimensional polyhedra, dodecahedrons, octahedrons, icosahedrons, crazy forms that would just come towards me in space, and I would wake up gasping for breath.
Wow.
And I had forgotten about those dreams, but someone asked me the same question you just asked, and I realised with hindsight that the dream stopped when I met a fellow called Keith Critchlow, who was a wonderful geometer, very wise fellow, and I did a MA course with him, a 2-year MA course, where sacred geometry was like the key to understanding the world's sacred art traditions, and we had these weekly sacred geometry classes. And the moment I started turning my compasses, the dream stopped.
That's amazing.
So it really, it was in me somehow, and I had to come and meet it. And the more I've practiced it, well, the more I want to practice it, as you say, because it is this practice of reattunement. You know, it really connects us to that which is timeless and eternal and unchanging. And in this crazy world that we live in, that you all know about, we need practices that connect us to that which is permanent and without
So do you see it as a means of connecting all of us with each other, with nature, with the stars? I mean, can you explain a little bit about this connectivity?
Well, we've been working with the Venus patterns, the patterns that Venus and Earth make in their rhythms and velocities and dances and movements with each other, and just working with these patterns over the last few years. Many insights have arrived quite recently. One that I'm really piqued by is this idea that one of Venus's names is controversy.
Yeah.
You mentioned it earlier. So Venus is the only planet, she's the only visible planet in the sky that turns around the sun, as all the planets do. If we're imagining a bird's eye view above the sun, she's hurtling around in an anti-clockwise direction, as is Mercury, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. We're all hurtling around on our axis in the way we're turning around the sun. But Venus isn't. She turns controversially on her axis, and very gracefully and with a lot of poise. We hurtle around once every 24 hours on her axis. She turns around once every 243 days. And so, I'm always happy to remind people, in the spirit of Venus, we need to be controversial.
Indeed.
To be able to look at things from different perspectives with grace, with love, with affection and poise.
And today, 22nd of October, so it's quite an important day, isn't it, for the dance of Venus? She's at her furthest from Earth?
Yeah, there's a conjunction. So today there's an alignment. Venus, the Sun and Earth are in an alignment. So it's known as a superior conjunction. And rather beautifully, in I think 3 days' time, is it Tuesday? We have a solar eclipse.
Yeah.
So we basically have this alignment of Earth, Moon, Sun, and Venus. That's pretty
awesome.
Significant. Yeah.
It's quite amazing, isn't it? It's quite amazing.
Yeah, and great that we're honouring. Venus is at her furthermost distance from Earth at the moment these days, as she's moving from morning to evening star. And we're bringing her very close by working with her patterns and trying to befriend her somewhat. And
for me, coming on the course, I didn't really know what to expect. I knew I'd be fiddling around with a pointy thing, a compass. When I try and explain it to people, they say, is it a protractor? I said, no, I'm sure it's a compass. And then they think a compass is for direction. I said, no, I'm sure it's a compass, which it is. So you're surrounded by compasses in this beautiful studio. But just putting into action what we've done these last 2 days is amazing, because when you're talking about the dance of Venus, it is how the planets are moving and creating, or Venus is moving and creating these just amazing pictures, which we've got one behind us, which is one you've done earlier, Blue Peter moment here, isn't it? And that's what we're working on, and in a moment I'll walk around with the camera to show people, but that's where this sacred geometry comes in, and the connection with astrology and numerology. It's just all connected, and then with nature, because we are one, we are part of nature. It's all in us, isn't it? You were talking about the golden numbers as well.
The golden numbers, and earlier I was showing an image that the biologists give us, the best image they can give us of a cross section of our DNA.
Yes.
Shall I see if I can quickly?
Yeah. If you can, I'll just sort of take some pictures as Daniel's finding the image. So all the tools and the books. It's such an amazing place here, and we've got Daniel's wife. I think she probably doesn't want to be in the picture, but we're just. So I don't even know your name.
Via,
lovely.
Via. So this is an image in Keith Critchlow. He was really the reason the studio's here. My teacher in these subjects, in this wonderful subject of sacred geometry. So the DNA molecule analysed through its cross section.
Yeah.
So, and it really is confirmation of this hermetic understanding, as above, so below, as within, so without.
Yes. So the connection of...
Yeah, the geometry of, or at least this understanding, this best image of our DNA molecule is exactly the same geometry that we needed to scaffold the Venus geometry. You can see this beautiful drawing next to it. It is the same mathematics involved.
Yeah.
Which is very beautiful, and it's all, whenever you see fivefold symmetry, fivefold geometry, you know that the golden ratio is resounding through the form.
Yeah.
And that's, the golden ratio is so much to do with three-dimensional life.
So that's the connectivity, isn't it? We are the same, somewhere along the line somebody's made us to the same sort of architecture, the numbers, which is just incredible. And again, you're not technical in your work. You can be, can't you? But looking at hopefully I've got those diagrams that you do, you explain it really well. Just briefly then, other courses that you do, it's not just obviously about the dance of Venus, what other you do labyrinth courses and basket weaving?
We run labyrinth courses. It's great sacred patterns. You can see a Chartres labyrinth up on the wall here. That's a very
France.
Very profound pattern. There's also some Venus geometry, sort of, I'm convinced, embodied in that form. We have a course exploring the golden ratio coming up, a weekend course. We have basket making courses. We have paint making courses. Via and I recently ran a 3-day course where we were making inks and ochres. So we were going out into the landscape, foraging rocks and minerals and roots and berries, and making glorious, maybe Karen, when
I'll wander around there. I'll wander around
there, and I'll show you these beautiful paintings.
So again, it's all about the connection, isn't it? Even the paints that you're making, coming from the earth.
Absolutely. So in readiness for ensouling our Venus paintings, we've been mixing up some malachite.
Right. Hopefully, I don't know if I can get that on my camera. I have to edit this a bit. There we go.
And if you can see what's inside this mortar, this pestle and mortar, Is that
Yeah.
going to come out?
Is it?
There
Have I got
you
it?
go.
Yeah.
That's a
Thank you.
beautiful
Look at the colour.
turquoise
Absolutely
green.
stunning.
And this rock, this mineral, malachite,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you're all aware, is copper rich. Here's a gorgeous example. It's about 60% copper carbonate. And then Venus has forever, in this sort of hermetic tradition, been associated with the metal copper, perhaps to do with the warmth, the conductivity, the malleability of copper. And we were making some beautiful plant-based pigments, some buckthorn berry.
It's incredible.
We've been making walnut inks,
And just
opal inks.
a little bit of sacred geometry there through, was it apples?
That's a quince.
That's a quince, there we go, the quince.
So many courses. I mean, the best thing is to check in with the Sacred Art of Geometry website.
Yeah.
And then pretty much every week we have a course on offer.
That's wonderful. Okay, well, I'll put the details on the bottom. See what we're doing here. So yeah, I'll put the details on the bottom, and hopefully we're going to get you to come to one of our Uprise and Shines conferences.
That'd be amazing.
I'll give details of those later.
Right.
There's nobody on the camera now, so apologise for the photography. I'm not a photographer, not a journalist, but I do need to get this wonderful information out there. So thank you so much for chatting with me. All
Great
right.
to have you here.
Thank
Thanks.
you.